Happy holidays, you guys, and welcome to Blending with Henry. Hey, you guys, how you doing? My name is Henry. Once again, you guys requested it, and I am delivering. It is a showdown between the all-new VITAMIX S30 Personal Blender against the all-new NutriBullet RX. Okay, all right, for you guys who are in the medical field, I know that it's not an R and an X, okay? Just humor me, okay, for the video, okay? So NutriBullet says they have the prescription drug for our health. So let's take a look and see how it stacks up with the VITAMIX S30. So if you guys are ready, so am I. Let's get started. This video was inspired by the truth in advertising and infomercials. Now the NutriBullet RX comes with more in the box. It's listed as being more powerful, but the VITAMIX S30 costs double? So let's take a look at these bad boys. With the VITAMIX, I get one 20-ounce single-serve cup, one 40-ounce standard blending container, one set of blades, and a variable speed control knob. With the NutriBullet RX, I get two single-serve cups, one 30-ounce and one 45-ounce, a 1-liter Super Blast pitcher, one set of blades, a blade remover, one pitcher lid, and a 1700 watt high torque power base. Wait! So you mean I can spend $200 on the NutriBullet RX and it does the same thing as the VITAMIX S30 that costs double the price? Well, goodbye VITAMIX. Okay, well not exactly, so let's take a look. The main attraction about these new machines is their single-serve blending cups. Now what's unique about the VITAMIX cup that no other single-serve machine currently offers is it's double-wall insulated. This keeps your hot liquids hot and your smoothies cold for long periods of time. Now let me show you by pouring in this orange Kool-Aid. Notice how the Kool-Aid is pouring into another cup inside the cup. The outer wall protects your hands from the temperatures of the liquid, while the inner wall protects your liquids from losing temperatures. The NutriBullet uses a cheap plain cup, which is not insulated. After a short time, you end up with the wet cup syndrome, as you can see here. On the left, the NutriBullet cup is too frosty and the ice is melted, as opposed to the insulated VITAMIX cup on the right. An improvement to the NutriBullet RX, like the VITAMIX, it has metal gears for the drive socket and the blade base. Unfortunately, the blade base on the right still uses cheap plastic housing construction. On the VITAMIX, not only do the drive socket and the blade base have metal gears, but the blade base on the right has all metal housing construction. The NutriBullet blade base and the VITAMIX S30 blade base both require the use of a rubber gasket to protect liquids from leaking. These have to be removed daily for cleaning to prevent contaminants from forming. The VITAMIX gasket sits on the outside of the base, but the NutriBullet's gasket sits on the inside of the base. The VITAMIX gasket is very simple to remove and to reinsert. And I like how it's very safe for the user. But I had trouble removing the NutriBullet's gasket. I had to use a butter knife just to pry it out. And then reinserting it was equally very cumbersome and unsafe, constantly having to stretch it to get it back in place. This greatly put my fingers in harm's way because it was difficult to avoid touching the blades. This is a very poor design for users removing the NutriBullet gasket. A design flaw on all NutriBullet machines. If and when spillage occurs, liquid will seep down into the cooling holes, and this is where the motor is. Once the liquid gets in and gets sticky, it's not coming out. On the VITAMIX, the housing drapes over the cooling holes, protecting them from ever interacting with liquids or spilling accidents. The NutriBullet has only two settings. It's either on or off. On the Vita-Mix, it has a variable speed control knob from 1 to 10. Now on the lowest speed, it's perfect for making dressings. Higher speeds for making sauces, or the top speed for making smoothies, nut butters, or ice cream. It also kind of looks like a space capsule. Something else the NutriBullet doesn't have is a dedicated pulse switch. It's perfect for breaking down thick ingredients and for quick chopping. I mentioned earlier that the NutriBullet RX has metal gears in the drive socket and blade base, which reduces the chances of wear under normal use. Well, with the NutriBullet, you'll eventually run into a problem. Outside of the preset time, in order to stop the machine, you have to pull the blender jar off the base while it's running. No! Never! Was I clear enough? Okay. Doing that daily, you guys may grind the gears, especially if it's pulled off at a slight angle, as you can see here. The NutriBullet RX's new feature is making hot soup. But the soup button at the bottom is very unclear. I mean, it's not labeled a soup button, you guys. So pressing it turns it from green to red, which turns on the soup mode to blend for 7 minutes. Now, you guys, if your family accidentally presses it, there's absolutely no way to shut it off. I tried pressing it many times, you guys. This leads you to end up pulling off the whole cup. Very user unfriendly. The NutriBullet RX is advertised as a high-performance blender, yet it comes with a cheap power cord that is very thin and is generally used for a clock radio or a lamp. Most quality appliances you guys in your kitchen have a heavy-duty power cord. On the VITAMIX S30, it comes with a 3-prong power cord, which is very thick and will withstand the test of time in your kitchen and is indicative of a high-performance product. One little big feature not found on the NutriBullet is a drainage hole in case of a leak. Now this greatly protects the machine, you guys, from water damage. A very, very, very big missed opportunity for the NutriBullet. And lastly, the NutriBullet RX is made in China. Unfortunately, some electronics are made there to outsource and to use cheaper parts to save money. And it can hurt the consumer thinking they are getting something great, but it ends up breaking down sooner than expected. The VITAMIX S30 is made in the USA from a family-owned company. Now, something you may not know, you guys, many of the parts on the VITAMIX are from the USA and their machines are hand-built. Blackberry seeds are undoubtedly the hardest seeds to break down. Now, in this test, I'm making a puree of blackberries in each machine. In each single-serve cup, I'm adding 1 cup of frozen blackberries and 1 cup of cold water. Now, each machine will have the same amount of ingredients and will be blending for the same amount of time. I found that the VITAMIX blades sealed very easily to the cup without force. But I found out the hard way that if you don't use the NutriBullet's included blade tool to tighten the seal, you will have a messy leak on the counter. In my opinion, you guys, this should not be a necessary step, and it's an extra tool that could get lost in your kitchen when you really need it. Blending time will be 1 minute. The NutriBullet RX automatically stops. I will stop the VITAMIX at the exact same time. This is the white plate test. I'm going to pour the puree from each machine onto the plates. Once again, I had to be inconvenienced using the tool to remove the NutriBullet's blades. I'm taking a spoon and spreading the pureed mixture to cover the plates. This will reveal any seeds that were not blended well. Now both machines appear to have broken down the seeds equally, but notice the NutriBullet's plate on the left. The liquid is separating and running down the plate. Unlike the VitaMix plate on the right, where the puree is remaining incorporated, the VITAMIX S30 blended the water and blackberries much better. The most effective way to make ice cream is to use all frozen ingredients to achieve the firmest texture. In the VitaMix S30, I'm using 1½ large frozen bananas and 1½ cups of almond milk ice cubes. I'm blending at the highest speed and using the tamper to quickly process the ingredients. Oh yeah, the perfect consistency, you guys, and it took only 50 seconds to make a delicious ice cream. This one's mine. I am not sharing. In the NutriBullet, I'm adding 1½ large frozen bananas and 1½ cups of almond milk ice cubes. NutriBullet recommends to give the container a shake or a scrape to get the ingredients moving again. Well, I guess you guys get the picture. It's no argument that both the NutriBullet RX and the VITAMIX S30 can make hot soup. But there's a difference between a good soup and a gourmet soup. I quickly found that I could not add these ingredients to the NutriBullet to make a chunky soup. This is because the NutriBullet RX runs at one speed. Fast, okay? And there's no pulsing action. It just ends up over blending the added ingredients into a liquid. On the VITAMIX S30, when I'm finished blending, I can continue to make a gourmet soup using these healthy ingredients. I can drop in these delicious black beans, you guys. Then add in the corn. Then drop in these garbanzo beans or chickpeas. Tomato. Okay. Then reattach the lid plug and then begin to use the pulse feature just to lightly break down the added ingredients. Now that looks more like it, you guys. Nice and chunky hot soup during these crazy winter storms. So would you rather eat your soup with the VITAMIX or drink your soup with the NutriBullet? The NutriBullet RX traps steam to heat the soup up, since it has no vents for steam to escape. Bad idea! Now watch the top nearly blow off from the pressure. This is very unsafe for the user, you guys. Notice on the VITAMIX lid plug, it has gaps cut around it for steam to escape. This way the soup will gradually heat up without using pressure. Sunflower seed butter is the perfect alternative to peanut butter, you guys, so let's watch both machines make sunflower seed butter without any extra added oils. In the VITAMIX S30, I'm adding 2 cups of roasted and unsalted sunflower seed kernels. I'm going to ramp up the VITAMIX to the highest speed and use the tamper to help process the ingredients. Perfect! I wish you guys were here to try this. Lucky me! In the NutriBullet RX, I'm adding 2 cups of roasted and unsalted sunflower seed kernels, the same amount used in the VITAMIX S30. As I mentioned earlier, NutriBullet recommends giving the ingredients a shake or a scrape when they get stuck. Well, I guess you guys got the picture, okay? The VITAMIX S30 Personal Blender beat the NutriBullet RX in every test. And to be honest, you guys, because of the design quality of the VITAMIX, it's not surprising. I mean, NutriBullet's late-night infomercials and advertising buzzwords such as nature's prescription, Try and prey on the uninformed consumer and to touch on their emotions when their machines really aren't doing half of what they say they can do or do any of it well. Notice all this confusing writing on the back of the NutriBullet RX box. With all that, it must be amazing. The NutriBullet RX is advertised to have a 2.3 horsepower motor at 1700 watts. The VITAMIX S30 is rated at only 790 watts of power, yet the NutriBullet couldn't beat it in the BlackBerry C test. Also, you guys, high power ratings mean high power consumption, so high power on a cheap blender means you'll be paying more for it later. Now, if you are a demanding cook and you need more power than what a VITAMIX S30 offers, you can check out a full-size VITAMIX. You can get one for around a $300 price range, give or take. Contact me for more details. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope the video helped you. Now, if you like this video, please press the like button, and please subscribe for future video updates. Now, I need your support. Supporting me means more future video content for you. Now, you can purchase a VITAMIX through me, save money, and get some special perks. Contact me for more details, and please remember to visit me at www.blendingwithhenry.com. Blending with Henry is also on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. And I will see you all next time.